Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to be taking a look at limit orders in Robinhood, and I just also wanted to go ahead and clarify that I'm going to be taking a look at limit orders for investing and not swing trading or day trading. First off, I'm going to take a look at a limit order for a shorter term investment, and then I'm going to take a look at a limit order for a dividend investment, and then lastly I'm going to take a look at a limit order for a long-term investment and the different kind of limit orders you're going to want to take for those different kinds of stocks you're going to be investing in. The first stock I'm going to take a look at is Alibaba, which I think is a really great short-term investment right now that you can really turn a great profit on. So one of the first things I always like to do when I'm getting interested in a stock that I might want to invest in is take a look at the 52-week high and the 52-week low. You never want to get started investing in a stock when it's close to the 52-week high, and Alibaba right now is a little bit closer to the 52-week low. It's not absolutely great, but I think it's going to start going closer to that 52-week high really soon. As you can see right here, it has 49 analysts that have taken a look on Robinhood at the Alibaba stock, and 100% of them say it's a buy right now, and I'd say a lot of them actually think it's probably a strong buy. And here's actually the main reason I think Alibaba is going to be a great short-term investment, and by short-term I actually mean a few months, which is pretty long-term for those swing traders out there or those who trade a lot from week to week. But the reason why I think Alibaba is going to be a great short-term investment, as in a few months from now, is they're doing an 8-to-1 stock split, which means if you were to own one stock of Alibaba before the stock split, you would own 8 shares of Alibaba after the stock split. And the overall market cap of a company almost always goes up after a stock does this because the stock price goes down, therefore more investors are inclined to get involved in that stock because of that cheaper stock price. So the investors are a lot happier after a stock split. The company gets a lot more money after a stock split. I'm actually not too sure why a lot more companies out there don't do stock splits. So to put a limit order on a stock is to say you want to buy it once the stock goes down to a certain price. In order to do that, I go to the stock and hit trade, and then I come up here to the top right where it says order types. And then I go to the second one down, which is limit or limit order. And then you go ahead and input your limit price for your limit order, which I think $154 is a really good one for Alibaba right now for this short-term investment. And I think that is because I anticipate it growing so much in the coming months. For your really long-term investments or your dividend stocks, you want to really try and catch them at the 52-week low or as close as you can. But since I just anticipate buying this one for the short term and then going ahead and selling it, I think just buying it at $154, which is just a couple percentage points lower than it is right now at $160, is a really good idea for this stock. And then you're going to want to execute that trade during extended hours, which is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. rather than 9:30 to 4. And the reason for that is that stocks can trade a little more volatilely during extended hours. So if it were to hit that limit order during the extended hours, you would want your trade to go through. There's not any really good reason to only want your trade to go through during market hours only. And then you go ahead and input when you want your order to be executed by. And if you were just day trading, you'd want to do 6 p.m. today. But if you're doing longer term investing, you want to click 90 days out, which for right now would be September 16th. And what that means is that any time in the next 90 trading days, your order will be executed once the stock price of that particular stock hits your limit price. The next stock that I'm going to take a look at a limit order for is one of the most popular dividend stocks out there right now, which is Ford. So finding a good dividend stock can be really tricky, and I'll probably do a future video on that. But you do want to try and get into the dividend stock at around its 52-week low because the dividend does not change according to the stock price. So if you can get it at a lower price for the same dividend, why wouldn't you want to? So a really good one for Ford would probably be around $8. So I would then go ahead and do the same thing, extended hours during the next 90 days. And then I think a good limit price for Ford is around $8.25 or less if you are really sticking it out for longer to get it at the greatest price possible. You could do somewhere around $7.50. And it has been in a good downward trend for the last 5 years. So you could even stick it out for longer than that. And their dividend may increase, but Ford's definitely one of the best dividend stocks right now. If you are looking to put a limit order in for Ford, I think around $8 is really great for it. And then lastly, I'm going to take a look at a really long-term investment for me. And as you can see, they've had a really fantastic upward trend for the last 5 years. So Microsoft has a 52-week high of 135, which is pretty close to where it is now, and then a 52-week low of about $94. And I really don't think they'll get around that 52-week low until we go into another recession. So since it is a really long-term investment, I do want to get it as close to the 52-week low as I can, but I don't think they're going to go back to $94 for a long time. So if you analyze their chart a little bit for the last year, you can see that they will probably dip down to $108 within the next 6 months or so, if they don't do so because of a recession. And there are some really great technical analysis videos out there if you do want to go check those out, and I will probably do some of those in future videos as well if you want to stick around for those. You do always want to set a limit price for your investments just so that you can have the most successful portfolio possible. And once you start trading with dozens or even hundreds of shares of a single stock, trading with just a few cents less and setting a limit price just a tiny bit lower can make a huge impact on your overall trade. Check out my channel for some other stock videos I've done, and I know this is a really brief video on limit orders and how to set a limit price, so subscribe to my channel for a more in-depth video coming in the future, and thanks so much for watching.